So I'm thankful for each one who's gathered here with an interest this morning in the county's efforts, and I pray that you will just bless them. I ask that you especially would bless our senior adults and our children and those who have special needs. And Father, thank you for the resources you've given each one of us to be able to help our neighbors out. Father, I pray that you will just continue to bless us this day, bless the decisions that are made in this court, and keep all those citizens in the state in mind for making it a great state and a great place to live. We pray things in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Brother Rogers, thank you, sir. All right. Well, the time is 9:01. We do have a quorum, so we will call this meeting of the Commissioners' Court to order. Are there any citizens' comments? No comments, no court announcements to make, so we'll move to item 1, which is consider and take action on minutes of previously held meeting of Commissioners Court on May the 19th, 2026. Are there any additions or deletions to the minutes or comments?
Hearing none, Judge, I move we approve the Commissioner Court regular session May 19th, 2026 as presented.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and seconded by Commissioner Spivey to approve the minutes of May 9th as presented. Any further comments? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item number 2 is consider and take action to proclaim June 2026 Elder Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month. And with us this morning, we have a collection of folks that have come here that really have a role to play and don't get enough praise. Ms. Shaw, if you would, please come forward with a proclamation and introduce who's with you, please, if you don't mind.
Okay, my name is Shelly Shaw. I am the faith-based and community engagement specialist for Adult Protective Services. I'm going to let my board, this is APS Advisory Board for Henderson County, and I'll just kind of, I'll say their names, but Sharon is in the back, Russell, Amy, I'm so sorry, Rachel, and then Brittany. And I want to say thank you all, commissioners, and to the judge for allowing us to enter this proclamation today. It just brings awareness to our county about elder abuse, neglect, and financial exploitation. And alone here in Henderson County, there were 506 cases that came into Henderson County alone this year. Out of that, 403 cases were actually validated through our agency. So there were 403 cases of abuse, neglect, and financial exploitation that were happening right here in our county. So I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas older adults and people with disabilities of diverse backgrounds contribute to the well-being of the city by working, caregiving, volunteering, and actively preserving customs, rituals, and traditions. And whereas as we age, we build momentum by accumulating knowledge, experience, insight, and wisdom that can be shared to enrich our community. And whereas abuse of older adults and people with disabilities is a community concern affecting thousands of people across Texas. And whereas there were 125,382 reports of abuse of older adults and people with disabilities in Texas in 2025. And whereas abuse against older adults and people with disabilities is grossly underreported because of social stigma, embarrassment, and fear. And whereas adult abuse affects men and women of all income and ability levels, all cultural and ethnic backgrounds in all communities. And whereas elder abuse is everyone's business, it is important to strengthen our efforts to prevent, report, and address elder abuse.
I want to thank you again for the role that you play in the community and for the services that you do. Court, comments?
Thank you.
You know, it's, you kind of see it on the TVs or whatever, and then you don't realize the impact that it could be right here in your own county. And to have that many cases that y'all picked up and been led to you. So we're grateful for what you do and what you do for our people in Henderson County.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for everything that y'all do.
Thank you.
If there's no further comments, we'll entertain a motion to proclaim June the Elder Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam and second by Commissioner Richardson to proclaim June 2026 as Elder Abuse and Awareness Prevention Month in Henderson County. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. What we'd like to do, if you can, please come forward and we get a picture taken with the proclamation once we get it all signed up. Either way. Here you go. And then we'd like to do this. She will email y'all a copy. Okay. We just need to get it scanned for our records. Again, thank y'all very much. We appreciate you. All right. Moving on now to item 3. It's consider and take action to apply for the State Criminal Alien Assistance Program, otherwise known as the SCAP grant, for fiscal year 2025. Ms. Vaughn.
Good morning, Court. This is funding that we're applying for this fiscal year. SCAP provides federal payments to states and localities that incur correctional officers' salary costs for incarcerating undocumented criminal aliens with at least 1 felony or 2 misdemeanors.
Court, questions?
Is there a specific amount we're applying for?
No, they do it on a formula based. So last year we received $23,119. The year before, $25,551.
Well, this is a grant program that's been in place, good Lord, nearly 20 years, I guess. It has been something that we've seen fluctuate up and down over the years, but it's an annual process.
Is it matching?
No, sir.
Any other questions or comments? Entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey and second by Commissioner Tooley to authorize the application for the State Criminal Alien Assistance Program, or the SCAP grant, for fiscal year 2025 as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Thank you, Court.
Thank you. Item 4 is consider and take action on the grant award from the fiscal year 2025 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program in the amount of $11,743.16. Ms. Vaughn?
Yes, this grant provides our Sheriff's Department with vests, and it covers 50% of the cost. We didn't go out for very much this year because we had a substantial couple purchases in the last 2. So.
Court, questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
So move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and second by Commissioner McCann to accept a grant award from the fiscal year 2025 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program in the amount of $11,743.16 as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 5 is consider and take action on requests for out-of-state travel to attend the 2026 NFPA Conference and Expo, June 22nd through the 24th in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the county fire marshal. Now, Commissioner Richardson, you brought this onto the agenda. Is there anything you want to lay out before we start questioning the fire marshal?
Yes, Court. I'd contacted the fire marshal the other day, as everybody knows, with these data centers and these messes that one that we already have in the county and stuff, and I asked him if there was any classes that he could take to continue his education or get credit on, to give him more knowledge about what his duties are on investigating or doing plans or anything that he's got to oversee for fire protection on these. And so he looked into it and found out that at the end of June, they do have one in Las Vegas, and it's through the National Fire Protection deal, and I think it's on the code. We use 855.
There's several that address that specific
But
code,
that's the
several
specific one
classes.
that we have to abide by, I think, that he has to use in our county. So he looked into this and found out what it cost to get there and stuff, and there's several classes on there that's specifically about data centers, BESS, lithium-ion battery charging stations, and all that kind of stuff on different fire stuff. So we looked into it, and he got his quotes and prices together on there on about what it would cost to be able to send him to this and get some training on it and stuff, just so that he would have it here for all this stuff that's coming to us right now that a lot of us don't have the answers to, and hoping that he can bring something back and spread what he learns to us and what we need to do also. So.
Court, questions of our fire marshal?
Tell us about some of those classes.
Some of them, so they all kind of, some of them kind of conflict as far as times, so can't attend to all of them, but I did put a list in y'all's backup. Some of them just address compliance changes with data centers. It's like the first one on June 22nd. Managing complex projects like data centers and chip manufacturing for the future, essentials on PV systems, energy storage and electrical vehicle charging facility management, lithium-ion energy storage, fires. So there's more specific on if there was a fire, how to manage that fire. Fire protection on lithium-ion battery and manufacturer facilities. So that's looking at how to protect those facilities specifically that house those type of batteries. Moving on to the next day, lithium energy storage, fires, fire and explosion hazards of lithium batteries, and that's more of a UPS systems for data centers. That covers the data center part of it. For protection of lithium-ion battery manufacturing facilities, kind of goes on, navigating the risk of a fire in a data center. So once again, kind of more specific on if there was a fire in a data center, that's kind of a course that helps manage that fire. And not so much on the third day, let's see, well, that one continues to go on, addresses complete challenges with data centers. This is specific to, I guess, DC and data center installation and operations, lithium-ion battery fires, firefighting PPE. So it specifically talks about certain type of PPE, which is personal protective equipment for firefighters for those type of battery center fires. Then the last day is lithium-ion battery transit bus fire prevention and risk management guidance. There's some other courses there, like on the 24th, there's some other courses involved that don't have anything to do with the lithium batteries that I would be interested in attending. And even in the other days to kind of fill in the gaps, because some of these are an hour, some of them are 2-hour long classes. But there's other classes that they have in there that would kind of fill in the gaps between not having one that's specifically about the data center, which would be beneficial for other areas of life safety.
this is just to make a comment. Do you have, or do we have a deal, or do you know of where, or say houses in the county, or do they have to tell you when they put in one of those charging stations at their house? I know that's private property, but
Not that I'm aware of. If it's a residential property, there's no regulation on that to inform us if there's solar panels. Of course, obviously, as a fire department, when you go there and they have solar panels, you would obviously know there's some type of storage system there. But there's no log of that or record of that I'm aware
and
of.
on a commercial, like say where golf carts are stored and all that kind of stuff, you just know that when you get there, you probably got lithium.
Yeah, just based on just education and what you're responding to and what's around. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, obviously, if it was built recently and it was regulated that way, then there would be some information that would kind of give you that indication. But as far as something that's been there for a long time, that's changed hands 2 or 3 times, there's very limited information that we would have, or the fire department would have, responding to that type of incident.
And you believe most of this information from these classes you'll be able to bring back and relate to not only us, but the fire departments that we have in the county?
I would hope so. That would be my hopes, is to learn as much as I could for myself, and then obviously bring whatever I can back.
Further questions?
I know something that's important with the activity that we have going on right now shouldn't matter, but do we have money in the budget for this trip?
I assume you're gonna take this from Leo's funds?
I think it would have to.
Leo
Yeah,
funds?
so, yeah, there are funds there, and actually with Leo's, he doesn't even need to present this to the court for the out-of-state travel. It's completely up to his discretion on how to use that for education purposes only.
Well, we appreciate you coming before us to let us know, even though you wouldn't have had to, but I think it's important.
I think it's important too for you, I mean, for y'all as a court to also determine if it is, something that you would like me, and, because I'm kind of looking for you guys too. Is this something that you would like to see me attend and try to gain some knowledge from as well?
Well, I agree that all of us are not caught up with what all's going on in a lot of these situations. It's come on us pretty fast, and I think any information we can gather would be important.
Like I say, it's best to get it from the right source and be accurate with it on what we have to do, so.
I think probably my best takeaway from it would just be the networking side of it, just being in contact with, I think the committee that writes a lot of these is supposed to be there. They're supposed to have keynote speakers. There's also that conference side of it where after the classes, they do like a keynote speaker every evening to attend that, just to talk to them. There's people that are involved in writing some of these rules and regulations and how it came about and incidents that happened that brought them to actually address it in their manual. So I think that'll be beneficial as well.
And like we know, Henderson County is a county that's under 250 population, so we don't have the same fire code as your larger counties do that are above the population threshold and stuff on doing any kind of permitting or fire enforcement codes and stuff like that. We're set on a certain one that's below the 250,000 population, so that kind of makes it a challenge on a lot of stuff that what people think that we can do, but we can't do it because we're a smaller county. We're really considered one of the larger counties in Texas, but we're still a small county, so.
Yes, sir.
That brings up an interesting point that individuals, as you said, do not understand or have the knowledge of. At our population threshold, we don't have the ability to pass those type of fire ordinances and so forth. So we have to rely upon the state in what they are running currently. Can you explain that a little bit? And if the state is on what, 2021 NFPA?
2021. So a lot of these, the newer updates are in the newer code, and right now the state is only in 2021. So anytime I reference that, I have to reference the 2021 NFPA 2021 edition. I can't exceed that because that's not because we only adopt what the state's adopted. So this is stuff that's up and coming once the state does. Some of this stuff does exist. 855 exists in 2020 regulations, and there's more stringent and strict regulations moving forward in the newer year versions, but we haven't adopted that yet. But that would, the state more than likely is fixing to adopt that next level, which would be 2023 or 4. I can't remember if they jumped 2 years or 4 years. So 8 to 21. So yeah, I think it's a 4-year jump.
Any other discussion, comments, or questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to allow County Fire Marshal to attend the travel to Las Vegas, Nevada for training for the 2026 NFPA Conference and Expo on June 22nd through the 24th. Do we need to put a dollar amount? We don't have to since that is Leo's and he has the
Since it's
no dollar amount.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the out-of-state travel of the county fire marshal, Mitch Pate, for the out-of-state travel to Las Vegas, Nevada for training at the 2026 NFPA Conference and Expo on June 22nd and 24th. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Thank you, Court.
Item 6, consider and take action on release of construction performance improvement bond number 101392337 for the construction of Brightwater subdivision located in Precinct 2. Commissioner.
Yes, Court, this is a subdivision that we approved with a construction performance bond called Brightwater subdivision. The new development office and I had a site visit with this developer, and the concrete streets were put in with the curbs, the guttering, drainage easement, and so that's what I know. So the next thing that I don't know is, Mr. County Attorney, can you help me out? Of how to go and how we're gonna go about releasing this construction performance. This is my first one to do, so.
So the court would need to accept the finding of the development office. So under our old rules, it was the county designated engineer. Under the new rules, it was the engineer or development, starting with the development office. So if they're satisfied, you don't need to use the county engineer. And then this court would accept the findings of the development office and then vote in favor of releasing that performance bond if they feel like that's been achieved. If not, you would find it in defect and then have to have a cure period of 60 days to, hold on, our old rules were 60 days. I think our new rules are 30 days. So there'd be a 30-day cure period. So. And I believe in this case, the development office did do a site assessment and found no insufficiencies.
That is correct.
Was that submitted in writing? Do we have that?
No, but we have the new development office here that can testify to that.
Not to question, it's just having the information in the file.
We can
Do an oral witness.
we can do it as a witness, or I can on the passing of it, I can make that letter happen.
Either way.
When we were out there, Joy, you want to come on up? Out there, they were finishing up the front. There's going to be a gated community. They were finishing up the front gate. He's done a great job. He's probably going to do the other side of the lake, but all the concrete was done. The drainage was in. The curb and guttering and the drainage that goes into the lake to wall was good. So I'll let our new development office speak.
Okay, so we did an examination of the property with the commissioner. We met with the developer. We saw the entrance, which is incomplete, but working toward that. All of the road is in. The descriptors, the pictures that we saw were 6-inch concrete, I believe. The rebar was square rebar overlaid. In some places, the edging was overlaid with each other. It appeared to be in really good shape to me. I'm not a road person, that's why we had the commissioner there, but appeared to be in good shape to me. I wouldn't hesitate. The drainage component was 7 feet below, I believe, is what was reported to us. Appeared to be significant or sufficient drainage to the lake. The only concern the developer had regarding drainage in the area was from a neighbor. We discussed a civil referral regarding that situation and gave him the water code information that he would need to take care of that himself civilly. That drainage, however, did not appear to be anything that would affect the roadway, but would affect the property, the ground on the lot that goes down to the lake. So everything we saw looked good, as much as I am a road construction person.
Under our old subdivision rules, we released several of them on that, and like I say, we've always took our county designated engineer to go out and overlook the roads and stuff, and he'd sign a letter off on it that everything was to his satisfactory, and he'd sign off on it. We'd do it on our new, if this is under our new regulations, they're required to have their own engineer. Am I correct? Do they have an engineer on this job? Anyone that's got a road built in it, they have to have an engineer on.
When they filed their paperwork, I believe they had all of that with their linear foot calculations. I can't see that visually in my mind right at this moment, but I believe that all of that was done as far as the engineering process.
Does it say anything in our rules and stuff that their engineer has to sign off on the completeness of the job or anything?
I think on our appendix, hold on just a second.
The rules do not. So
Don't say that their engineer.
during the application
It's-
process, yes, but not in the sufficiency of the bond.
Right. Not about that, but as far as the whole subdivision application, there's several sign-off pages that have to be done.
So to sum up, in your estimation, the project has met all the requirements of our subdivision recommendations or requirements concerning the release of the construction performance improvement bond?
And my estimation, as much of a road person as I am and what I saw.
The regulations, it says either or, when we're talking about our development office or the engineer.
It says the development office. Now, I think they can recommend the engineer, but it's going to be the recommendation of the development office.
Okay.
This developer has, I believe, played by the rules, and he's done the job that we've asked him to do. I think one of the deals was he wanted this road to be an easement, and we told him it couldn't be. He had a smaller cul-de-sac because of the area, so we told him that it had to be there for a fire truck to turn around, and he's obliged to that. And seeing the project move forward like it did, I'm satisfied that he's done his due diligence to complete the task at hand.
If I can add an asterisk too, the rules say the sufficiency of the development office. We do write in our bond contract, though, that it's really up to the county for the engineer or development office, but the rule is the development office, so.
So just one last thing. I didn't see anything that made me think I needed to call the engineer, the county contracted engineer, to go out and take a look. The other thing, when this road, this concrete road first started to be put in, we could see from across the lake, the lower cul-de-sac area, and we even questioned whether or not that was a house pad because of the size of it. And then we found out, no, this was the road construction. So they really did do a good job, in my estimation.
Court, questions, comments? Commissioner?
I'm good. Hearing none, Judge, I move we take action to release the construction performance improvement bond number 101-392-337 for the construction of Brightwater subdivision located in Precinct 2.
I'll second this motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the release of the construction performance improvement bond number 101-392-337 for the construction of Brightwater subdivision located in Precinct 2. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimous.
Thank you, Court.
Thank you. Item number 7, consider and take action on interlocal cooperation agreement contract for labor and equipment use between the city of Coffee City and Henderson County. Commissioner?
Yes, Court, this is our interlocal agreement that we do with most of our cities here in the county. Bring this forward to you so we can get this started. Theirs is expired. For Coffee City, I done a few weeks back for Berryville and Horner. And what this does is it allows us to go in and do labor and equipment for like patching, mowing the right-of-ways, putting up a few street signs, different deals like that. It doesn't consist of major repairs of the road. So that's what we're doing, is coming forward here to do a contract with them for labor and equipment. And it would be ending December the 31st of 2030. Most of these cities, they don't have any kind of public works deal, so they don't have anybody to do their potholes and stuff like that. So that's what we do for them when we got caught up on most of our work, which usually doesn't happen when we try to fit them in. So,
Court, questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the interlocal cooperation agreement contract with labor and equipment between Coffee City and Henderson County with the Commissioner's authorization to sign.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, seconded by Commissioner McCam. Cooperation agreement contract for labor and equipment use between the city of Coffee City and Henderson County with Commissioner Precinct 4's authorization to sign.
With the term ending
December 31st, 2030. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item 8 is consider and take action on matters related to the Texas Association of Counties Employee Health Benefits Pool renewal for 2026-2027. I'm not sure. Ms. Bell, I believe Ms. Brannon, she has not made it yet. Okay. Well, then, in court, what we'll do is we'll just move on down the agenda, and when she arrives, we'll come back to it. So then we'll move to item 9, which is receive financial reports, of which there are none. Item 10 is consider and take action on payroll distributions and accounts cash sheets, which we have none. But item 11 is consider and take action on submitted contracts, and we've got a couple of them here today. Ms. Monk, we have the one concerning the law library, I believe.
Yes, and this is all paid for the law library fund. It's just a renewal of a contract we've had in place for 5 years.
With Thompson and Reuters. Okay. Court, questions? Let's get some of the Westlaw, the Westlaw Edge, Westlaw Analytical, just to kind of add a little more color to it. Our county attorney Mr. Strong, just to expand a little bit, and yes, I am killing time to allow Ms. Brandon to show up, so.
Okay. I have not read the law library contract, so I'd have to.
Well, as we're looking at it, the description of the services, the products, Westlaw ProFlex, Westlaw, for the edification of the public.
Oh, this is Westlaw? Okay.
Yes.
You
So,
may not know because they use a different system over there.
Okay.
Two systems.
so I'm assuming it's just the standard Westlaw that would be, it's kind of the old school function for all of the old law books. If you go to someone's law office, you'll see thousands of books, and they're all very dense. And the issue with law is that it's always updating and changing, and there's always new laws added and as far as case law goes. And so Westlaw and LexisNexis are two companies that have really, there's some other ones too, VLEX, have taken all those books and made them online. And this kind of predates Google and AI, so they were kind of the major databases for law. And so they have maybe what they call shepherds or reference checking, where you can check your citations, make sure it's good law, make sure it's still binding, and they have all the statutes and case law in there, and they keep it updated. So.
Everything you wanted to know. So court, are there any questions concerning this? If not, entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and seconded by Commissioner Richardson to approve the Thomas Rudders contract for law library services with Henderson County as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Vaughn. The next contract is with Granicus, and this is for our website. And what we're trying to do is, we're transitioning from our current web base that we have to a new one, but there is a delay of our migration. So where we're at, what is presented here for us today is a contract to continue for 1 year. It's in the amount of $10,864.94. Be happy to answer any questions that we can about it.
The new one we was going with is the one that converts everything to the ADA.
Yes.
And I think I read the other day we didn't have to have it done by April 1st. It's moving forward now.
They did. They granted a year extension because they understood of what an undertaking that it would be for governmental entities, the smaller governmental entities. A 1 year extension of the compliance period, because we were due in April of this year to be completely compliant with it. Given that extension and the migration and the development of the second one, we're asking to continue this contract of our legacy website to get us through until we're complete. Any further questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and seconded by Commissioner Tooley to approve the Granicus contract for the Henderson County website maintenance as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. All right, now we will move back to item 8, which is consider and take action on matters related to Texas Association of Counties Employee Health Benefits Pool renewal for 2026-2027. And we have Ms. Ramisha Brannon with us here today to discuss. Those of y'all, Ramisha's been a long time associated with Henderson County, starting out as a TAC Health representative for a number of years before branching off with Ethos, where we have been under contract for consulting services for gracious now 6, 7 years, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Thank you.
All
just had a birthday on Saturday, so I don't want to feel any older by adding on how many years I've been coming here. Good morning.
Morning.
I think Judge McKinney has already introduced me, but I think I know mostly everybody that's in here. Feels like family every time I come. So last time I came, I believe, was April the 28th, and I promised I would be here after I met with TAC to provide updates to the 2026-2027 TAC renewals. So that's what I'm back to kind of go over with this morning. I put together a presentation that Judge has up there for us.
This was the one we received.
Yeah, I didn't update too much of it.
There we go.
Yeah, that's perfect. Anything that I kind of had to update afterwards, because I did get more information after I sent this, I'm gonna just go over it with you guys in the appropriate slide.
Let me do this, and then I will put it up on the other screen. I'll get out of here. Continue. We'll do it this way.
So while the judge is getting that up, every year, the TAC pool puts together what they call a renewal webinar. And so myself and Norma attended the webinar this year. It was last month. And they go over how the pool did as a whole, and then just go over if there are going to be any changes, like vendor changes, or if they're going to implement anything new or remove anything that they offer within the pool. So that's mostly the webinar. It was pretty short. It lasted maybe 35 minutes. It wasn't long at all. But we attended that, and then I also reached out to our TAC rep for employee benefits, which is Rashawn Collins, and I go ahead and ask for what the renewal is going to be before they even release it, just so you guys have an idea of kind of what we have to work with as far as percentage, because I know you guys are starting to jump into and get into budget. So he did give it to me verbally. They won't send it to me in writing until they release the renewal, which is normally like the third week of June. But I did get percentages for you verbally, and so I'm gonna go over that with you this morning. All right, thank you, Judge. All right, move to the second slide. So just to kind of give a recap of that webinar that we attended, the pool ran at, if you guys remember, we always look at what the loss ratio is, right, with claims. And we look at a 12-month period mostly whenever we calculate the renewal. So the period we're looking at is April 2025 until March 2026. For that period, the TAC pool itself ran at 105%. And so, and what's our goal? 94. Yes. So the pool did have a little rough year this year. So that's the pool as a whole. So that means all entities that are included in the pool ran that way. Some of the reasons for that they mentioned were things like high cost claimants, which is things we talk about all the time. Claimants that are normally above $100,000 or more in claims for that period. Of course, it was things like kind of common things, cancer. But one thing they really kind of stood out or really want us to focus on really kind of reversing is some of the freestanding ER usage for non-emergency reasons. And I know we brought that up a couple years ago, and I don't think it's really been a big deal or kind of diminished a little bit, but now it's back getting prevalent again within the pool. And so I just wanted to kind of bring that up, that's kind of one thing that we learned and probably need to focus on going in this year, just kind of educating more on when to use the ER, when to use urgent care, and when to use telemedicine, because you do have a telemedicine benefit within your plan. So freestanding ER usage was also a large contributor to why the pool ran at 105%. What we also learned, or what they also kind of tell us, is what the pool trend will be for the 2026-27 plan year. And what that means is they basically, underwriting looks at the set of claims for the 2025-2026 plan year, and they calculate based on trend, cost of healthcare services they fill for next year, those exact same claims, what it would cost them if we did those exact same claims for the next plan year. The pool needed amount for next plan year is 9.9%. So that is what the pool is saying they need in order to continue to manage the pool and sustain it the way it should be. So what happens next is when they come up with the pool needed amount of 9.9%, the TAC board then takes that 9.9% and they could do it two different ways. They can give everybody within the pool the 9.9%. Everybody can get the same renewal, every single entity, regardless of how they ran. Or they have the option of taking the 9.9%, either giving those entities who need that amount, they can go above it or they can go below it. And they normally choose the second option, where they give each entity their own renewal instead of doing a 9.9% across the whole pool. Does that make sense? So that's what they voted on again this year, is they are going to do the second option where they look and see who needs the 9.9%, who may need more than that, and who may need below that. So that is the webinar that we learned, and that is the information I've learned about how the pool ran. Any questions about the pool itself and how it ran as far as medical and prescription?
Just as far as for public knowledge, how many participants are in this pool? Because it's a rather large pool.
Yes, it's over 200. I don't have the exact number this morning, but it is over 200.
200 organizations?
Yes, 200 organizations. So it's county entities. There are a few water districts. I don't think they allow water districts in anymore. That was kind of allowed, but it is different entities within the pool, yes.
Thank you.
So now we're going to go over kind of each renewal. Again, the TAC renewals are verbal. Normally when they give me a verbal, it's firm. It normally doesn't change when I bring it to you. And then the MetLife renewal, they issued that to us about 2 months ago. I think I released that to the committee, and so that one's firm. But I'm going to go over each renewal next. So we're going to start off with the medical renewal, which medical does include prescription drugs as well. I'm sorry if that's too small, I apologize. So looking at that same time period from April 2025, March 2026, these are the Henderson County numbers. So the loss ratio ran at 104%. So you're a little bit below the pool, but kind of right where the pool is. The plan contribution is just breaking out with the HSA plan and the Blue Essentials HMO plan. I'm breaking out how much Henderson County pays in premium to the pool, and then claim spend, how much the pool is actually paying out in claims. So I broke that out by each plan, and then I totaled it at the bottom. So HSA plan contribution, a little bit over $1 million. Claim spend was great on the HSA plan. It was $642,000. And then the Blue Essentials HMO plan was a little higher. The premium is $3.4 million paid in and over $4 million paid out in claims. So with both of those plans together, paid out in premium was $4.4 million from Henderson County, and then the pool paid out $4.6 million in claims. So 104% loss ratio. Unfortunately, this year you guys did pay out less in premium than the pool paid out in claims. Which when I came about a month ago, we already knew that, right?
Last year was the other way around.
Last year, a little bit other way around, yep.
Until the last month.
Yeah.
Yep. And there wasn't in that 12-month period, if you guys remember, in that 12-month period, there wasn't a lot of months where it wasn't over. So you just had a little rough 12 months where it was over. I'll go over some of the high-cost claimants that contribute to that here in a little bit, but yeah, it's not a whole lot different than last year, right? Because it was almost right even. I think it was about $400,000 difference last year about. So just over this year. Remember, we always think positive, right?
They do.
Regardless.
PAC does take into consideration, don't you say, they go back maybe 36 months or 48?
Yes, they look at 36 months and 48 months, yes, just to see. They also, they like to look and see if you guys, because remember, you guys have a wellness program input. So they take consideration with that, and they look and see if that wellness program too is making a difference as well. The high-cost claimants, when I go over those, you'll notice a lot of those weren't prevented. They were things that are genetic or just kind of happen. And some of it may be because you're requiring them to get that wellness exam. Remember, we talked about that too, where if you're requiring them to get that annual wellness exam, there's times where likely the doctors will find something that may require maintenance or a prognosis for continuous treatment. Okay, here's the medical renewal. Kind of break it down a little bit. Remember, you guys offer a dual option plan, right? You have the HMO plan and you have the high deductible health plan. I think we added that about, I think this is the fifth renewal it's been, HSA. Initially, just a reminder, when you have two plans, TAC did add like a 2% load in there because you never know where the sick and healthy are going to fall with that. So it's just a 2% load. It was added initially whenever you guys added this, so they don't do it every year. It was just added initially, so you could have some possible savings by just dropping back down to one plan instead of having two plans. Now's the time to kind of think about alternate plan options. If you're wanting to look at other options other than just these two plans, like I said, down to one plan. I think adding the third plan would be a lot, but it is an option. We can also, TAC does allow you guys, since your group size, where you can customize plans. So they do have a suite of plan options where they can send us look at, but they do allow you, if you remember, if you say, okay, I want to increase the copay for some savings or decrease the copay for this, TAC does allow you to do that. So now is the time where normally the insurance committee will kind of get feedback from you guys and then bring it to me on alternate plan options you want to look at. I say look at it now. If we can get it to TAC by late next week, at least by next Friday, on any plan options you guys want to look at, they'll release it with the renewal. If we don't get it to it by then, we can't get it to after the renewal, which sometimes can cause a little delay on us getting those options. Any questions about the dual plan options, alternate plan options? High-cost claimants, just an overview of high-cost claimants, just the reports I looked at from TAC. You have a claimant right now that is over $500,000, and so that's kind of costing the plan quite a bit. You have a number of people, I believe it was 11 over $100,000. What's kind of contribute there, you have some cancers and you have musculoskeletal surgeries, which has always been prevalent here. So the knee surgeries, the shoulder surgeries, those are still in the high cost claimants category for you guys as well. I also went ahead and listed the top 10 drugs as well with paid out the last 12 months so you guys can see as well how much prescription drugs are a huge factor as well with this. I have Ozempic on there twice. It was on the report twice just because it's two different NDC numbers. It's the same thing. But if you can see, Ozempic's over $100,000. That's to treat diabetes. They cannot get it for any other reason. No matter what you hear or ads on the TV, they cannot get it through the plan for any other reason. They have to show medical necessity to get that drug. Any drugs. There's a lot of prescription drugs, high-cost drugs that physicians or providers will try to use for like off-market things that may work for other conditions that it's not originally prescribed for. The plan won't allow it. So if they're getting it, it's not going through the plan. Does that make sense? So just top 10 drugs paid out for the last 12 months as well. And then the verbal renewal that I received from our employee benefits consultant for your medical plan is the same that the pool needs itself, which is 9.9% for your medical and your prescription drug plan. So if you renew as is, same plans with TAC, it's a 9.9% increase. Of course, I don't have rates yet. Again, I have to like kind of beg to get this verbal, and so I don't have the actual rates themselves. They won't release that until they release the renewal, which again, that'll be like the third week of June. So any questions on medical, prescription drug, the renewal itself?
Restate again, if you would, the timeliness, we have to get any options back to them to look at the TAC.
I would like them back next Friday, if possible, because then they'll release them with the renewal. We can always request after that. So a lot of times, groups want to see the rates themselves. Like 9.9% may look different once you actually see the rates themselves, because they can load that, more in the family tier, or they can load that more in the employee spouse tier, whichever tier kind of affected the plan more. So once you get the rates themselves, you may not want alternate plan options. But I like to kind of get some just in case, and they'll release them out with the renewal instead of us waiting. So if we wait till the renewal's released, a lot of times it can take them 10 or more days to get us those plan options.
Given the shortness of the timeline on us receiving this information, have you had an opportunity to discuss that with the insurance committee yet?
No.
Okay.
No, I literally just got these numbers, literally just got the numbers.
Okay.
Yep.
What would be if we went up on the deductible?
That's what the alternate plan options would tell us. So if committee wants to look at increased deductible options or increased copay options, now's the time for us to kind of get those into TAC so they can release those.
What does that do to the 9.9?
I wouldn't know until I get it back from TAC. It would decrease it. Anytime you increase the deductible and put more of the cost on the members, it's going to decrease the rate.
I know that we fought for a $10 copay, but everything has gone up since that we fought for that. So if
Yep.
it would help with the 9.9, that would.
Oh yeah, it'll help with the 9% for sure. But again, I can request those, whatever you guys want to see, Commissioner, just let me know deductible wise. I can get the suite of plans and go ahead and send those out. I can ask Rashawn for those, for the actual, they have like a set of plans, but remember, like the $10 copay, that was customized for Henderson County. That wasn't something that was an option.
Well, my deal suggestion would be a $20 copay.
Increase the copay for the primary care. And that may encourage more of, remember, we want to encourage non-emergent reasons in the ER. So maybe we can kind of push more of the telemedicine benefit. Use the telemedicine. I know I love it. I use it personally, especially for my kids. I always say if you're not sick, you're going to get sick when you go to the doctor, right? Because somebody in there is sick. So if you're not just horribly sick, a lot of times we use the ER for convenience instead of an emergency. If it's a true emergency, of course, go to the ER. That's what it's there for. But if it's for convenience, you do have other ways to use it that's more cost effective to yourself and the plan.
We increased that at one time, because I think it was 300 and we went up to 600.
The ER copay? To determine from the ER, yep.
To try to get people to be in dire emergency before they went to the ER. I think when I started here, it was a $90 copay.
Yeah. And then these freestanding ERs pop up, right? Where they're just these nice buildings. A lot of times they're not crowded. There's not a line. Your hospital ER normally has a wait, but these freestanding ERs that are popping up, they don't. But they are expensive. They are more expensive normally than going to the hospital ER. So yeah, we can definitely look at increased copays, increased deductibles. We can play with that however we want to look at it, so we don't push too much on them, but kind of slowly maybe, increase it back. But we can look at that, yep. And yep, any of those would save from that 9.9%. Those are good questions. Any other questions? Commissioner McHale, you?
I think we need to look at that,
Okay.
increasing.
What I hope for is that in the very near future, the committee will get together and discuss and ask for options.
We have a meeting Monday. We have a meeting scheduled for Monday.
Okay.
Actually with TAC. And so, yeah, we can use that to kind of discuss. But we do have a meeting already on the books.
For the insurance committee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Commissioner Tully, we have a meeting on Monday.
I don't think I received it either.
No? Norma? Oh, okay.
but we'll make it work.
Please.
Dental?
Okay, sorry, let's go to dental. Your dental is currently with TAC as well. You have a single dental plan option with orthodontic benefit, which was a benefit you guys added a couple years ago, which, looking at reports, the employees do use. You guys pay out dental, so that's a good benefit that's used. I changed this after I sent this to you. It should say TAC dental pool needed amount. So the pool itself for the dental itself needs 5.1%. That's their trend or need amount for the dental, but the TAC dental renewal for Henderson County is 2.7%. If you renew as is. Again, we can look at dental plan options as well if you guys want to look at dental plan options. Any questions on the dental? All right. The vision, remember you guys have 2 vision plans with 2 different carriers. You use both the MetLife and the TAC vision plan. Looking at reports for both of these carriers, both of these plans are used, so both of these plans are continuously being used by the employees. So having these plans inputted as an option is beneficial to your employees because they are using them. And both MetLife and TAC are not issuing any type of rate difference for the vision plans. So there's no increase or anything for either one of these plans on the vision. Any questions about vision? Are we having any issues with the vision still? I know we were at a point, but I haven't heard anything from the committee about it.
Just so that the public knows, the reason we have 2 plans is because the Blue Cross Blue Shield TAC is not really accepted a lot by the different vendors here locally, and that's why we have the additional MetLife, which is widely accepted in the area.
Correct. The employees were having network access issues locally with the TAC Dearborn National Plan. When you guys voted to move over that, MetLife said that we could drop back in the vision plan in order to kind of fill that gap and make sure the employees had access to the local vision providers as well. So it's worked out really well.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's the reason why you have 2 vision providers and 2 vision plans. The next to last, just your basic life, your voluntary life benefit. Basic life is what the county pays for employees to have. And then supplemental voluntary life, that is additional life that employees can pay to have additional, right? And they can also buy life for their spouse and their child, but they have to have supplemental life as the employee in order to buy coverage for their spouse and their child. Basic life, the county does pay for you to have $10,000 in life insurance. That doesn't cost you anything, except for always make sure that Norma's office has your beneficiary correct on file. If something were to happen to you, MetLife contacts Norma's office for that beneficiary information. So if you get married, most importantly, you get divorced, let us know so we can get your beneficiary updated. And you can do that anytime. So you don't have to wait till open enrollment. You can go to Norma anytime throughout the year to update that. There's no change in the cost for that, for MetLife, for the county paid life. And then the additional life insurance that employees are paying for, there's no change to the costs in that as well, unless it is age banded. So if you kind of move to a different age bracket, that could change, but there's no cost change on that as well. If you are not a new hire and you want to buy additional life now, you could have to answer medical questions. If you guys have some new hires within your departments, encourage them to buy the life then, the voluntary life then, because they can get up to $150,000, no questions asked, no medical questions asked. If they try to get it later on, then they have to always answer medical questions. Does that make sense? So if you have new hires, encourage them to buy that life insurance while they can. Normally it's cheaper than going out to the market and finding some life insurance. Any questions about the basic life or the voluntary life, supplemental life?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now's a good time as well to discuss your wellness incentive program. Remember, the county does have a wellness incentive program. in place county-specific plan. Right now, it's a $25 monthly benefit contribution for the annual physical and a $25 monthly tobacco contribution for the tobacco certification program. So now's the time, as well as the committee, to kind of decide, do you want to, leave it at the $25, because I believe it's been the $25 since we've inputted it, or if you want to make a change to that, you can. You have that option. I think it's been working out well, though. You do have some cancers in your high-cost claimants that could be genetic, or it could be a contribution to tobacco. So that may be something to kind of look at, but I can go over that more with the committee as well.
You can give us the deadline date when that has to be done,
What has to be done?
your certification.
Oh, Norma, yeah, Norma does that. So I think, do you have a deadline? Is
Less
it
than 3 months now.
August 31st? So that hasn't changed. That's been the same, August 31st.
That's for both the annual physical and the completion, either the certification or the completion of the tobacco cessation program.
August 31st. Or you get hit with
$25.
$25 additionals a month, yep.
Okay. All right.
Any questions for me?
You'll have an upcoming meeting where the committee will look at possible variables, changes that they could then present to the court as options as we move through the budget process.
Yes.
The deadline for our renewal, do we know what date that is?
They didn't give a timeline calendar yet.
Not yet? Okay.
No, we normally don't see it until they release the renewal.
Gotcha.
And then they have the timeline calendar, when it's due, paperwork, all of that is due, so yeah.
Seems like it's August.
It's usually that second week in August.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Okay.
But it comes fast. That second week in August comes so fast, especially when you guys are in budget and working on other things. It comes tremendously fast. So the committee and I will work together diligently to make sure we can get you guys what you need to make a decision.
Court, comments, questions for Ms. Brannon? Well, we appreciate you.
Thank y'all for having me again this morning.
We'll look forward to hearing what y'all come up with over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right. At this point in time, I don't believe there's any action to take, so we will move on. We have already completed 9, 10, and 11, and we'll move back to item 12, which is consider and take action on requests for right-of-way permits.
Yes, sir, we have 2 in precinct 2, 1 in precinct 3.
Commissioner Tooley.
Yes, Court, this is with Brightspeed, or for Brightspeed, and we're going to be, we'll look on your backup. We'll do the Apaches, Apache Drives, Comanche, Indian Harbor Drive. We'll scratch Enchanted Oaks Drive because that is in the city of Enchanted Oaks and Choctaw.
Court, questions? If not, entertain a motion.
I move we approve the right-of-way acquisition for Brightspeed to be working in west of Apache Drive for a total buried footage for 833 feet, east of the Apache Drive buried footage for 274 feet, west of Comanche Drive buried for 900 feet, north of Indian Harbor Drive for buried for 1846, and west of Choctaw Drive buried for 86 feet, with the Commissioner's authorization to sign.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the right-of-way request from Brightspeed for the installation of fiber optics along the aforementioned roads with the Commissioner's authorization to sign. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Commissioner?
The next one will be in the Indian Harbor subdivision. Again, And we'll be striking, doing all the roads mentioned, except we will strike the Enchanted Oaks Drive because that is still in Enchanted Oaks.
Are you going to
Yeah, I'm ready.
read those? Or?
Yes.
Okay, please do.
All right, I move we approve the right-of-way request for Bright Speed for east of Cheyenne Trail for aerial footage for 2235, west of Comanche Drive for an aerial of footage of 676, east of Apache Drive for an aerial of 262, west of Apache Drive for aerial of 451, south of Aztec Drive for aerial of 628, west of Hoppy Trail for aerial for 761, south of Inca Drive for aerial of 914, west of Choctaw Drive for 2144, north of Pierce Drive for aerial of 237, north of Indian Harbor Drive for aerial of 1064. With the Commissioner's authorization to sign.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and seconded by Commissioner Richardson to approve the right-of-way agreement with Bright Speed for the installation of fiber optics along the aforementioned roads as presented with the Commissioner's authorization to sign. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously.
Thanks, Court.
Thank you. Commissioner?
Yes, I have one on, for Spectrum Gulf Coast, County Road 3911, run an aerial fiber for 900 feet and then come down the pole and run 100 feet to the flower pot.
In the road?
Yeah. In the right of way.
Any questions? If not, entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the notice of proposed utility line activity for Spectrum Gulf Coast LLC on County Road to install fiber optic on County Road 3911 with 900 feet fiber on the pole and then run underground approximately 100 feet.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam and seconded by Commissioner Richardson to approve the right-of-way agreement with Spectrum Gulf Coast LLC for the installation of fiber optic cable along County Road 3911 with the Commissioner's authorization to sign.
Yes.
Is there any further discussion? That's fine. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Good Lord. All right, item 13, consider and take action on submitted budget amendments. Ms. Monk?
Yes, we have those.
Court, questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the budget amendments as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey and seconded by Commissioner Tooley to approve the budget amendments as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item 14 is consider and take action on payment of bills. Ms. Carpenter?
Yes, sir. We have fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $354,827.61.
Commissioner Spivey, questions?
I have no questions, Judge.
Commissioner Tooley?
I have none.
Commissioner McCam?
I had none.
Commissioner Richardson?
No questions, Judge.
Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 bills in the amount of $354,827.61 as presented.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, seconded by Commissioner Spivey to approve the bills in the amount of $354,827.61 as presented. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Item 15, consider and take action on submitted plats.
We have 2 plats in precinct 1 and all fees are paid.
Commissioner Spivey.
Yes, Court. The first one is Greenwood Cove, and it's a final replat, taking 3 lots, creating 2.
.507 acres. Looks like they're fixing or correcting their lot lines due to houses, it looks like to me.
I couldn't hear what you said.
It looks like they're correcting lot lines due to houses being built.
Yeah, pre-existing structures.
Okay. Taking 3 lots and creating 2. All signatures are provided. Everything looks to be in order on this one.
Court, questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the final replat of Greenwood Cove, taking lots 25, 26, and 27, creating lots 25R, 20, and 26R located in Precinct 1 for filing purposes only.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey and seconded by Commissioner Tooley to approve the final replat of Glen Oaks Cove, replatting lots 25, 26, 27, creating lots 25R and 26R for filing purposes only.
It's Greenwood,
What did I say?
Glen Oaks or Green
I'm
Oaks.
sorry, Greenwood. My apologies. Any further discussion?
You're still thinking about a flower pot.
Yeah. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Commissioner?
Yes, Court, this one, I didn't realize until late last night, but the replat and the backup paperwork do not match the lot sizes or the lot numbers or the acreage, and there's several other things wrong with the backup. Something that this was one they tried to bring in last year, so that's why the paperwork says something different. They didn't put the correct paperwork when they filed it. So I'm just gonna, on this one, I'd like to make the motion to deny the replat as presented.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey and seconded by Commissioner Tooley to deny the Townside Meadows North subdivision as presented. Any further discussion? And we'll end up
Sending
giving them
a letter.
detailing the defaults.
He's here, he's gonna meet with the development office after court and fix
good.
it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion? Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 16 is open and consider bids, of which we have none. But item 17 is to convene into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 to discuss legal matters with counsel, specifically to discuss alleged violation of Henderson County subdivision regulations regarding the Rockwood Mountain Estates subdivision located in Precinct 3. Court, can we get a motion to move into executive session at a time?
I'll make a motion to move into executive session at 10:25.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and seconded by Commissioner McCam to move into executive session at 10:25. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. We will convene into executive session and come back when we're done. Thank you. is 11:10. We have a motion to move back into open session.
I'll move, we move back into open session at 11:10.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam and second by Commissioner Tooley to move into open session at 11:10. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. We are reconvening into open session to consider and take action on matters discussed in executive session. Are there any motions we need to entertain?
Yes, due to findings of potential violations to the subdivision regulations, I would like to move to allow the county attorney to negotiate with attorneys of the property owners up to filing civil or criminal action.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam and second by Commissioner Richardson to authorize the county attorney to negotiate with attorneys of property owners up to filing civil or criminal actions in the matters discussed during executive session. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion? Passes unanimously. Item 19 is consider and take action to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Richardson to adjourn at 11:11. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. We are adjourned.